No, man, but you got to keep going. What am I going to do, quit? That's not an option. You got to keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it? You make it work for you. You never give up, man. That's my philosophy.
Hey, gardeners. Hope you're all having a great week out in your gardens. I am out here in our front alleyway garden where I'm finally getting some things together and planted too. As you can see, we've got our big 45-gallon felt pots here all situated now and planted out with our first tomato planting of the year. We've got a few different varieties here. We've got a purple Cherokee over there. We got a big beef right here. And then we got another big one right over here called the Big Rainbow. And I'm excited about this one. It's similar, it looks similar to a pineapple tomato I've grown before. So I can't wait to see how it tastes. And then look over here, check this out. A little bit of an update from our fig tree that was all like just looking terrible from the freeze that we had. But look at it now, just taken off like nothing ever happened. And yeah, let's see here. I know right there. Yep, we've got some fig fruit as well too. So all right, everybody, we've got a community show today. You all are the guests. So I hope to see some new faces today. All right, let's get growing.
All right. Here we are, all my passionate plant people and garden enthusiasts. Welcome to the Let's Get Growing show right here on the Urban Gardener channel. I am Enoch. I am your host today, and we've got a great show. Hopefully today for all of you here today. It is, yes, as I just mentioned there in the opening, it is a community show day. That means you, the audience, are the guests today. That's right. Let's hope that we got some new folks out there who are tempted and gonna jump in today to come hang out with us. If not, we're sure we got some good regulars to come hang out as well too, because this is one of those just great fun shows that we do. Yes, this is where you, the audience, are the guests. Like I said, this is a community show, and that means I'm going to share our show link with all of you coming up here just a little bit here. And it'll be like a call-in radio show where you get to use that link to join with us here. You'll get into our backstage here on the show, and we'll have you on as a guest, kind of like I said, like a call-in radio show, except for it's video. You're going to come on video and come hang out here with us live on the Let's Get Growing show here. So again, too, we want to hear all about what you've got growing on. I know everybody's got some things growing on in their garden. I want to hear what's going on in your gardens. That's what this show's all about. It's kind of see what we've got growing on, how things are growing in our gardens, meet some new folks, hopefully. Maybe if you got a gardening channel as well, too, and you want to talk about your gardening channel with everybody as well, come on and join with us here in just a little bit later on in the show. So yeah, we'll be getting started with that here just a little bit. Also, we have our roll call coming up in just a few moments as well too. This is just another way for us to say hello to all of you who are hanging out with us here today in the audience. So definitely come and join us for roll call. Let us know where you are growing from, what you've got growing on in your garden, and all of that as well too. We'll give you here a little bit of a shout out to get our community show started off with here in just a few minutes for our roll call. But if you can right now, real quick here, while we got you here getting started the show today, let's hit that thumbs up. Let's click the like button. Let's hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet already. That bell notification there will let you know of all of our upcoming live streams right here on the Urban Gardener channel. Definitely share with all of your friends and let them know about the Let's Get Growing show. We're here every Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's right. Here every Saturday and Sunday, each and every weekend. We'll have some great guests coming up here, hopefully coming up in the next couple of weeks here for us to get these rolling back again for our Saturday show. We got some things going on for the Sunday show. I'll talk a little bit about what we got coming up here just a little bit later on in the show as well. And big, huge shout out to all of you who are watching the replay. Yeah, all of you who are taking your time to watch us throughout the week and catch up with what we've got growing on here on the weekend. Thank you so much for coming and checking us out here on the replay. Definitely get into our comments section, just like all of our folks who are jumping into the chat right now to let us know where they're growing from, what they've got growing on for our roll call. I want to hear from all of you who are watching us on our replay as well, too. So definitely get into the comment section down below. Let me know you're here. Let me know what you've got growing on, where you're growing from, all that same stuff. And yeah, or you can just drop in and say hi. Just drop in. I love to hear from new folks. If you've just found our show, new viewers as well, too, definitely get into the comments and let us know you're new around the Let's Get Growing show as well, too. So again, thank you all, everybody, for being here, especially you who are joining with us live. Join in on the conversation. As I said, we got roll call coming up here in just a few minutes. Drop in all of your questions and comments and all of that. Again, you all are guests today. Our viewers are our guests today. So maybe you've got a question for one of our viewer guests that comes on the show or something too. So when they come on the show, definitely pop those into the chat as well, so that hopefully we can get a question in there and ask them as well. So again, everybody, thank you so much for being here today. Things are growing along pretty well here. I'm finally, as I've been talking about for weeks now too, just one of those winters. A lot of things got accumulated. Things were piling up. It's been a mess out in my garden spaces all over the place. I've still got a bunch of stuff I'm still working on getting finished. Lots and lots of projects. That'll always be the case when it comes down to it. But I'm finally breaking down and getting some real good things caught up and taken care of in the garden spaces. As you can see there in the opening, I got the whole front alleyway kind of fixed up and ready to go. We've got a bunch of our other starts that I'll be filling out those 45-gallon pots and everything with too. And so I've got some really cool ideas on some things that I want to get done there. We've got our different tomato varieties that we've planted out. We've got a couple of other spaces around the gardens, along the alleyways, and in the back patio and everything, which I've got all taken, which again, too, is so nice. It's so nice to walk around in these spaces and feel like, oh man, these places, they're coming along. Things are starting to grow. We're starting to plant things out. Things are starting to look really, really nice out there too. So hopefully I'll get a chance here through the show in our openings, I suppose, in the next few weeks, got to give you a chance to see around some of our different spaces and all of that as well. I did do some issues with labeling. We talk about the importance of labeling again too at the beginning of our growing seasons as well too, to make sure that we get some plants, making sure our plants are identified and all of that. But I was doing some things with our tomatoes and ended up moving them after I got them up potted, and I didn't get. I got them all mismoved and mismanaged. And so I know of certain ones that were labeled correctly, and there were a few that I just got mixed up in the whole thing. So I now have what will be growing throughout the season on our back fence line. I'll kind of show you guys all later down in the weeks here too as well too. But a whole section now, it's sort of the whole section. It's like three or four plants that we've got in the back, which are mystery tomatoes. I won't know until they start forming the tomatoes and start ripening up which ones they actually were or not. But mystery row in the back there now too as well. So it's been nice to get those out, get everything going, all of that too. So again, I hope all of you have been getting your things planted out in your gardens. Again, today's a community show. So if you're joining with us here live right now too, hopefully you jump in and join in with us a little bit later and let us know about all of the things that you've got growing on and how they're doing out in your garden spaces here today. Again, lots of really great stuff. The back patio area, I've got all kind of cleared out, ready to go. Lots of things that I'm direct seeding as well right now, because as I look ahead at my calendar past the last frost day, all of that sort of stuff, looks like things are warming up really, really nicely. So I'm out there, I'm ready to go. I'm starting to do some direct seeding. I did do like some squash. I'll start seeding them in some pots, but I'll also direct seed some. And I have to do this with all of the different, I mean, I've got a lot of different pests out there. And last year, I only grew a few different types of things. And I ended up getting a lot of like pest pressure, lost a bunch of different plants and didn't have replacements. So I'm kind of set myself up for replacements that are in some just little containers that I have for some of my squash, but I want to direct seed as many as I can and hopefully get some of those to survive and have them be my primary plants, because those will always grow the best, I think, when it comes down to it, versus ones that we have when we start those, squash and cucumbers and things like that. So I'm out direct seeding all of those, but I've got all my backups as well too that are getting ready to pop up and getting ready to go too as well too. So things are looking pretty darn good around the garden spaces right now. So really, really excited again too. It's finally, as like I said, I'm getting a lot of these chores broken down. Things are getting planted, and that beginning of the growing season excitement that we all get, all of us gardeners get each and every year, which I know is something that's been building up. And depending on where you live, you get the opportunity to go through that. I feel like I'm a bit late to all of this right now, but it's good to get going. It's good to see things planted out. And so again, really excited for how things turn out, and hopefully some of these strategies and things that I'm working on and doing will pay off in the long run. Like I said, with those direct seeding of the squash and the cucumbers and the different things that I've got around the places, hopefully those ones survive the gauntlet of getting through everything and become my primary plants. And then I'll have some to share with some friends maybe, and maybe I'll have to use them. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see when it comes to all of that. So, all right, everyone, it's community show day, but it's also a show day. And I want to take a minute here to jump into the conversation. I see everybody's been chatting away now as we've been getting this show started, and I've been babbling on and on about what I've got growing on here. So hopefully all of you have had the chance to jump in and let us know, where you're growing from, what you've got growing on, and all of that, because it's time now for roll call.
My name is Kevin. Yeah. That is my name. Yeah. They call me Kevin. Yeah. Because that's my name. Roll call.
All right, roll call. Again, this is where you get a chance to get or we get a chance here on the show to come and check out and see who's hanging out with us live and see where you're growing from and what you got growing on, all of that sort of stuff. So again, if you haven't jumped in, you're just start jumping in on the show with us right now, and you haven't had a chance to yet, jump into the chat. Let us know where you're growing from, what you've got growing on in your garden, all of that sort of stuff here for our roll call shout outs. Let's see who we've got in the chat with us today. And of course, right at the top of roll call, we got to say hello to our good friend, the J-Bot, who's backstage right now, just doing all sorts of really great stuff for us there, facilitating our chat, helping us out with the show. And it's also a community show. So we'll get to see J-Bot here in just a few minutes here on the show here as well, too. She's joining us from Huron County, Midwestern Ontario, Canada, in the lee of Lake Huron. Get that out right. We also got all the way over across the pond from us, Muddy Puddles Farm, Joe joining us over in the UK right now in Cornwall. Good evening, where we are having some much needed rain. A little rainy over there in the UK right now today. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Another friend from over there in the UK as well, too. we've got our friend Rob from Rob's Allotment Gardening up in Rob's attic. Good day from Leicester, or pronounced Leicester. Okay, Leicester, UK. And as Joe said, having a lot of rain. Yeah, a little wet over in the UK. Hopefully that helps and gets your gardens looking nice and green. Always love like the day after a good rain and the garden's looking so much greener. We've got Robin Gardens joining us from Chicagoland, sunny, and temperatures are rising to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 29.4 Celsius. Busted our bums yesterday spreading 3 carloads of free Village wood chips. Taking the day off today, spent some money at the nursery. Awesome. Well, there you go. Come and hang out and take the day off and hang out with us here at the Let's Get Growing show. Maybe we'll get a chance to see you or say hi or something here on the community show coming up here as well too. I'm encouraging everybody today, even our friend Adam joining us from right up the road from me here in Southern Oregon, joining us from Central Point. Adam Burley, our other good friend and moderator. Good to see you, Adam. Thanks for joining us here today. We also got Rebecca's Gardening here with us as well. Awesome to have you back again. Awesome. Community show today. Like I said, I'm teasing everybody. I want to see some new faces today. That'd be great to have folks join with us here, get some new faces, meet some folks in our conversation. Somebody say hi, Eddie. All right. Hello from North Alabama. Great to have you here with us, Eddie. Thank you so much for being here in the chat. Thank you. EE2201 from Ohio. Just gave away 80 plus plants to my family and friends today. The seedlings officially made it. Awesome. Excellent. And look at that. We got our good friend Tony joining us from Simplify Gardening. Hello, Tony. Great to have you here with us today. Great to have you here joining us here on our community show today. We've got Good Boy 3354. Hi, Bombottle. Okay, yeah, that makes me think of Lord of the Rings. Right on. Wickershire Project in the chat as well too. 7A Tennessee. What's growing new? 7 new tomato variations. 3 new peppers. 10 new herbs. 2 new elderberry, bare root, cushaw squash. Older bush beans, peas, sweet corn, many pumpkin types, and squash and flowers. You always got so much great stuff growing on over there. Thanks for sharing that with us. I mean, wow, what a great garden. Can't imagine all the just awesome stuff growing out there. Just really great. Thanks for jumping in there to let us know. Rebecca's Garden says, Zone 9, is it too late to direct sow summer squash? Zone 9, I wouldn't think so. I'd go for it. Give it a shot for sure. Do it. They're pretty quick, especially if your soil's nice and warm and ready to go. Yeah. Give it a shot. Do it. Who knows? Maybe you beat out some of those pests too, or what? I don't know. Maybe that's kind of my test right now. We're gonna see. All right, our good friend Bowtie David and Mrs. Bowtie as well over at Bowtie Live, Triple G. Greetings, global gardeners, from the heart of Old Destin, where the weather is beautiful, the cameras are rolling live, and the garden tours are underway. Awesome stuff going on over there. Eddie says, for a question for Simplify Gardening. Okay, all right. Indiana tomatoes, cucumber, potatoes. Awesome from Tennessee Whiskey 3980. Tomatoes, cucumbers, and potatoes. Awesome. I was actually out there. All of our volunteer potatoes are popping up just nicely out there as well too. So I was right nicely surprised again this season to see them popping back up again. So I'm looking forward to those potatoes. We got our tomatoes out, all of that good stuff as well, like Tennessee. So yeah, really exciting. Great to have you here. Thank you so much. Janet McDonald in the chat joining us from Central Texas. Thinks it's summer with 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I know we're not even through spring yet. I mean, we're already having some kind of summery days as well, too. Right on, right on. Thank you all for being here. We can show you some love by hitting that like button. It helps the channel out more than you know. Well, thank you for the shout out back at us there, Wickershire Project, for sure. Hit that like button, do all of that great stuff. Again, comments. For all of you who are watching the replay, if you get a chance or you're joining us late and you're going to come back and watch the beginning, all that sort of stuff, definitely make sure you leave comments, hit those like buttons, do all those sort of great things. They're cool, awesome, free things that you can do to help support us here on the show. Helps us get seen through the YouTube algorithm a little bit more too, as well too. Making sure that we're showing up in people's feeds so that we can get more and more folks here to join us for our community shows, which we're going to get underway here in just a couple of minutes here. So I hope you're all just as excited as I am for the community show here today. Again, for those of you who are joining with us or joining in just a little bit late, I'm going to share our show link. This is our studio show link with you all here coming up in just a few minutes. And then that's going to give you all the opportunity to join into the backstage studio. And you'll hang out in the backstage studio, kind of like if you were calling in. Like I said, I like to, analogize it to a call-in radio show, where you call in and you wait on hold until they bring you onto the show and all that. Well, it's very similar. You get in, you turn your video and your microphone on your computer on or your phone, and you sit on the backstage, and we'll pop you on as we get through going on the show there. So that's kind of how that's going to run here. And so let's get moving along here today. We've got a little break we're going to take here real quick, and then we'll be right back and we'll get all of this underway.
Ivy Organic was founded on the gardening concept of whitewashing, simply lightening your plants to better tolerate weather extremes, transplant shock, and so much more. Such a valuable gardening practice that farmers have been doing it since BC times. However, in recent years, most research has been caring for plants and trees using latex and tar-based products which are designed to last 100 years but fall off your plants within 1 to 2 years as your plants grow, contaminating your garden soil indefinitely. Available in colors white or more natural looking colors such as brown, green, gray, and grayish. Ivy Organic has 2 general categories of whitewash products. The 3-in-1 Plant Guard, which includes 7 natural oils including castor, cinnamon, clove, garlic, peppermint, rosemary, and spearmint, which offer insect and rodent repellent protection, and the whitewash oil-free formula. Both products also have diatomaceous earth in the base ingredients, which naturally offer some insect repellent protection too. As always, keep growing with Ivy Organics, and wishing you all happy gardening.
Hi gardeners, I'm Brandy, the Suburban Gardenista, and I'm here today with your garden trivia question for this week. And your question for today is, when thinking of supporting pollinators in your garden, what does 3 by 3 by 3 mean? And your options are A, providing nectar to bees, butterflies, and moths. B, watching out for pollinators every 3 days, weeks, or months. C, providing habitat, food, and water for pollinators. Or D, providing blooms for pollinators over the whole growing season. I'll be back a little bit later in the show with the answer.
All right. Do you know the answer to Brandy's trivia question? And drop that into the comments there. Let's see what kind of answers you think we've got for this week's trivia. And as she said, she'll be back here just a little bit later on in the show for our next break, and we'll get the answer to that trivia question, as well as thanks to Ivy Organics for being our sponsor. Go check out Ivy Organics over at ivyorganics.com. Use our promo code GROW10, GROW10, and get 10% off of their 3-in-1 Plant Guard. They've got their great fertilizers, all sorts of other great stuff over there at ivyorganics.com. definitely go and show them some support as well. And again, I always say you got to have that plant guard. It's an essential for your garden shed. So if you haven't gotten the chance to get any for your garden shed, definitely go and get some of that there and use our promo code. Awesome. Yep. Community show time, everybody. And when it's community show time, that means that we got to have a quick little chat to get everything kind of started off here. And we'll get to sharing that show link with you all here in just one moment here as we welcome to the show our good friend and facilitator, producer, the J-Bot. The J-Bot. Oh boy, it's been a little while since I've seen that little intro there. Totally love it. Awesome. Great to have you here. It's community show time, Jay.
Hey, everybody.
How's things going on for you?
Well, I was frantically typing as you were trying to introduce me, as I was trying to get the Suburban Gardenistas trivia points out for people.
Right.
And
Yes.
those of you who are reading what I wrote there will note that I went 1, 2, 3 rather than A, B, C, D. So
Right.
I do apologize for that. But I didn't have the information in advance, so I was trying to pause and process that information to get it all out for you. So please do join in on the trivia answers, and I do apologize for going numerical instead of alphabetical.
Yeah. There you go. No problem there. We'll just kind of translate, 1 for A, 2 for B, 3 for C, and yeah, there we go. But let us know what you think the answer is for this one here too. I hate to admit it, but I think she got me too here on this one. I had an idea on one and it ended up being another. So let's see what you all come up with as well too. But again, everybody, thanks again to have you all being here. I hope some of you who, again, I see some good names, new names that have been joining us here over the last couple of weeks and everything as well too. So maybe we'll get some of them talked into coming and joining with us here on the show. In fact, I think this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and do this here real quick and drop this in for everybody. We'll start sharing the show link with everyone here real quick, and that way you all can start making your way over. And then
so what I'm going to say is, as he's putting in that show link, a couple people have talked to me privately this week and said that you have a very short time to be with us, and if you could somehow indicate to us if you have a very short time, either in the YouTube comments or in the private chat comments on the StreamYard side, so that we can try and kind of streamline you up to the front of the line. I'm sorry that, that's the reality, but it's a busy weekend for some people. And if you want to be our guest, but you only have a very short period of time, if you could somehow convey that to us so that we can get you in for the time that you've got.
Yeah, definitely use that little chat feature there for folks in the backstage. And yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Whoa.
And there's that StreamYard chat that will be on the YouTube side for you.
Yeah, for those of you in our live chat as well too. Yep. Awesome. Excellent. Let's see here. I know we shared a couple of pictures, so let's take a look at some things growing on in your garden real quick here too, because that's what we want to do today. Come on the show with us today, talk a little bit about what you got growing on in your garden. And you shared a couple of pictures with me here too.
Sure.
A little bit earlier in the week. Tell us a little bit about what you've got here.
Fabulous. So what's growing on in my garden is actually garden beds.
Look at all those.
So I've been ill, unfortunately, for about 2 months. So I'm kind of behind in where I want to be. But you'll see sprouting up there a dozen raised garden beds. So I built them at my home property, and then I'm transporting them one by one to my community garden plot. So what you're seeing there in sort of a scattered way throughout my side yard is 2 different styles of garden beds. The oblong one that is 20 by 40 with the green posts in the corner, and the ones that are 34 by 34, which are a square unit. So essentially what we've got going on there is 2 different styles to kind of accommodate the type of garden that I've got and what will fit in it. Those are galvanized beds. They are about 12 inches or so tall. They're not the be all and end all in terms of gardening, but they are galvanized, so they should last a minimum of 10, maybe 15 years. For my budget and my needs, it's going to work the rest of my gardening life. And I'm actually thrilled to have them. I'm a bit of a bargain hunter, being a low-income gardener. So finding those at 50% off thrilled me. I was able to support some local businesses. That are supporting, people for my area. And they were a price that I was able to afford. So I've been spending quite a bit of my time assembling those bit by bit by bit. And then we're going to see some of the pictures about what
They didn't look like they were too hard to assemble, right?
Nope. They were very, very easy. And in fact, once you get into the rhythm of building 1 or 2 and having the right tools on hand and away you go, I actually built them mostly on my very tiny front porch. Like, picture a front porch that's maybe 5 feet by 8 feet with furniture in there.
Yeah.
And I still was able to build them piece by piece by piece because it was raining those days. And I'm a dedicated gardener, but I'm not that dedicated. So I built them on my tiny porch. I basically stepped into them and treated them like a hula hoop and waddled them over to my side yard, set them down, stepped out, not necessarily elegantly, straight away from the rain, went back to the porch and built another one and another one and another one. And with most of them, I actually used the cardboard and stuff for the later part of my project, which is basically, and we're going to kind of go through this in a few minutes, is I did what I call adaptive hugelkultur, which is ways, in a simplistic term, it's basically composting underneath your garden bed so that it feeds the soil structure throughout the next years. And I thoroughly believe in that. I've been doing it for decades now, but up till now, I actually had, and I'll explain this in a bit, up till now, I actually had wooden beds, which deteriorate over time. So what we're seeing here is a hole, and I make my hole about the size of my bed. So these beds are 20 by 40. So that's a hole that's 20 by 40, and it's about a foot deep, which is about the depth of my bed. So
so the bed's going to fit right in there.
Well, no, this is going to be underneath the bed. So if we go to the next
so it'll fit on top of it.
Yep, I have them all in order. So that is my native soil saved up and set aside. Okay, so I'm going to put that in a few minutes. So that's the native soil. And I know there's different theories with gardening about not disturbing the soil. I only do this kind of thing once every 5 and now 10 or 15 years. So for the greater good, I disturb the soil once. And then after that, I put down there a bunch of straw that I'd gotten, which was a Halloween leftover. Someone had it for a decorative reason. I could not verify whether it was clear of herbicides or aminopyralides. And you want to know that. And I don't know that because I didn't have time for a bioassay. So that's why it's at the very bottom of the pit. So that it is far, far, far from my growing plants. So it's an asset, but just in case it's got herbicides, it's kind of as far away as can be. Not a lot of it. So there's straw. And by the
Okay.
way, I am working on the bioassay. And then cardboard, which is what was used for the garden beds. So cardboard. So it's creating a little bit of a layer and a breakdown. And then next, I put in sticks and wood that is, some of it's rotted and some of it's solid, but nothing is too green, because otherwise, potentially, if you cut wood and put it in there, it will grow. If you like cut a shrub and put the stuff in there, that
Right.
you may be growing that shrub. So
Yeah.
it's older bits of wood and stuff in there. And essentially it creates a way for sort of like a wet sponge over time that provides kind of like a home for your funguses, your healthy funguses. And to actually provide sort of like a sponge for less watering later on. So some of
Yeah.
that down there
Yeah.
in my pit.
Yeah.
And then next, was that it?
I think that was,
So
we
then
had a little snafu at the
Yeah.
beginning of the show with the rest of our pictures. So we'll just
So I'm going
explain
to
what's
describe
next.
what's next. Yep. So then what I did was I took some of my half finished compost, because I have a lot of that not finished.
Mhm.
Half finished compost, put a pail full in that pit.
Yeah.
And then after that, I put a bit of small bits of cardboard, just leftover packaging and stuff like that, in there. And then I put in a whole bunch of leaves and pine needles and just kind of like yard waste that had been at the curb.
Yeah.
Fill all the way up to the soil line. So now we're at what was the natural soil line.
Okay.
Okay. Then the garden bed gets put on top. Then
Mhm.
those pots we had set aside with all that natural soil that had been there, tip it in. Try to make
Yeah.
sure that the garden bed is kind of a little bit levelish, a little bit properly oriented.
Levelish. Exactly.
Levelish. My standards are pretty flexible. I'm just so
Right.
glad
I
to have
think
garden beds. So now we're a foot above the soil line, putting the soil in, but we're trying to fill it to the very top, because
Yeah.
as that stuff underneath starts to compress and sink, it's going to drop a bit. But I'm filling
Okay.
it just pretty much to the top, because I want to leave a little bit of space, because next week what I'm going to do is amend that top soil, the first couple of inches of that
Mhm.
soil, with whatever I've got available. So what you might want to use is the various animal manures available to you. Maybe it's worm castings, maybe it's spent mushroom substrate, maybe you use some versions of chemical or natural fertilizers. The key thing is that you're going to be amending those top few inches of soil so that it is healthy and happy for the plants and the seeds that are just about to go in. So for me, what I'm growing is gardening boxes, and I'm trying to have them as a semi-permanent structure so that I'll be doing less weeding, less watering, less bending, trying to accommodate me as I'm aging in place. I have multiple handicaps. I'm getting older, and I want to be able to still keep gardening.
Thinking ahead.
So I'm thinking ahead. The money and the effort that I put forward now, I'm trying to think ahead about what happens if I get temporary or more disabilities or difficulties with my health. Can I still garden? How could I keep it up? Will it look orderly? Will it be easy to upkeep? And so I'm basically doing that. And then probably later this week, I will have pictures of, like, hopefully a tidy, relatively level, nice garden bed all in place for my future.
Yeah, excellent. Looks great. I mean, I love the garden beds. I think it's going to look really nice. Can't wait to see when you get things really growing there for sure. Yeah,
Yes.
that's going to be awesome.
So that's been a big project for me. Unfortunately, again, my health has been really poor the last 8 or 10 weeks. So I'm kind of catching up on almost everything of my life and trying to, this is for us, for our region, this is go time for the beginning of our fairly short gardening season.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to kind of get out there and get things going. So ideally, I would have been doing all the stuff that we just showed there far far earlier in the season. I would have liked to have done it a minimum of a month ago, but that's not really a thing. So we'll have to see how that goes. But I'm very pleased. I was hoping by now to have it fully done, but we'd call it 90% roughly in place right now. So that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, lots of great stuff going on there for sure.
Yes.
And yeah, too bad our pictures didn't load up and we couldn't get the rest of them on there. But good enough description of it all. I think it's a great. I think it's just a great way to layer all that stuff in to get that done and set up right. And again, too, as you were mentioning about, setting the soil up for the future. Really, too, as you're talking about, you're not just setting up yourself for the future with these raised beds and you can manage your garden a little bit better, but you're also setting your soil up for the future as well, too, underneath of those beds like that.
And there's a sort of a few side quests that also get achieved by this. One is I live in an HOA type community, and there's some people that are a little tightly wound. So
Right.
having garden beds that are clean, linear, tidy, in place will help settle some people down who are a little easily riled, so that my garden will look tidier and nice. And then also I have a number of compost bins, but because again I've been unwell, I haven't been maintaining the way you should. So by taking my half finished compost that have developed a little bit of a smell and stuff going on, now is the busy time in my community. So by burying it under approximately, we'll call it 24 inches of stuff, the animals are not likely to smell or get at it, but also it is gone from my community so that other people won't notice or smell it. So I'm kind of helping harmonious living in my community by the people who get a little wound up about that kind of thing, kind of taking care of that and taking care of my plant buddies. So I'm not introducing you to any gardening at all, any actual plants or seeding or anything like that. But this is the setup work. And to my mind, the important part at the shoulder parts of my season in the early spring and in the fall is when I do that hard work for that stuff. And to me, it was quite an investment of my time and energy and money for where I'm at in life right now. So big project for me.
Yeah, exactly. Adam says, could we really call ourselves gardeners if we did everything at the right time? For sure. Did want to say something here, though, too. Dusty Flats was saying, reluctant to get high raised beds because the soil available sinks and needs topped off and it's expensive. And I say, get that.
I'm just going to adjust her thoughts about that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is, almost everything except the garden beds themselves are absolutely free that I had. All of the fill I did underneath is stuff that I mostly culled from the side of the road. So that cost me nothing but my time to obtain it and pile it up and get it there. And I failed to mention that there's a ton of chopped leaves in there as well. And then some of the stuff I've saved aside to potentially also use as mulch. But by filling my garden bed to what you call the tippy top, that when it sinks, it doesn't sink very much. And I will be doing some amendments in there to improve that top bit of the soil. Some of those things have been purchased.
Soil settling should be expected too, in a sense. And, in my raised beds and especially the elevated ones and all of that, the year to year soil settling that I get. And this is the one thing I'll say, it gives me the opportunity to do another bit of regenerative gardening coming right out of my own spaces that I'm doing is my compost. And this is something that's really important, is I use that little bit of space that just opens up every year, for my compost topping that I'm going to be doing on all of my beds every single season, which then feeds my soil each and every year. And again, another free amendment, another free way to top those things off and do that sort of thing.
And also mulch.
mulching
gives you a little
too,
bit of the
space
space
for
for that
mulch.
mulch. And if
Exactly.
you've got the lighter mulches, like if the bioassay works out in terms of my straw,
Mhm.
if the straw is safe, I did leave it out all winter for 6 months, like exposed, but
Yeah.
that still might not be enough. You want to be sure before you put it too near your plants or your growing soil. A straw tends to be a bit blowy. So
Yeah.
by having a little bit of space in that garden bed and fencing around it, I'm less likely to be the straw fairy for the whole neighborhood. So
Yeah, exactly.
yes.
All right, let's see. Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. We've got a community show to do now. We've got some folks who are jumping in already, who are in the backstage, and I see one new face too back here. So maybe that's what we'll do is we'll get going there, and then we're waiting on for one other. Plus, in the comments right now, I'm going to go ahead and share once again for anybody who's joining with us right now and you haven't seen or had a chance to check out our show link. This is our link to the show so that you can come and join our backstage. And we're going to get this community show rolling, Jay. And I was just thinking before the show, I was like, we got all these great fun bumpers for all of the stuff and different things. We got one for Gardner Scott and all this stuff. We don't have one for the community show yet. I was just thinking today, I was got to get to work and get something set up, or maybe I'll get somebody out there to, you got an idea for a community show bumper, let me know.
Yes.
And we'll put one together for it because we need one.
Yeah. Before we join in a new person, I'm just going to finish that thought that had happened earlier. I'm just going to throw this up quickly. Dusty Flats, the employee at the garden center, said that he had to buy more soil because it sank from last year. It wasn't happy about his $200 bed. I don't buy soil. I grow and make my own soil. Okay. So I'm not spending that money. I'm not hauling bags of stuff there. I am growing and making and using my native soil and improving and creating ways that my soil through natural and local materials becomes better soil. I ain't buying. So he's thinking garden center because that's his life and his lifestyle.
Yeah.
So he buys and sells bags of soil. I don't do that. I work with native soil. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a good idea, especially, when you're talking about trying to do things at low cost. I mean, is really work with what you got. That's a big thing for me around my garden spaces, similar to what you're talking about doing with what you're doing there, is utilizing the things around my garden, whether it's the tree limbs, the leaves, all the different sort of things, my cardboard waste, all these sort of things I can do to use as inputs for my garden spaces. Plus, things too, another fun thing to do as well, is creating your own compost, like I was talking about, building your own compost piles, doing those sort of things so that you can have those sort of additives that you can bring to your garden as well. But if you're thinking about things and you're doing things bulk, here's another big thing though, too. If you're going to be doing big beds and things like that, you're going to need plenty of soil. Don't go buy bags of soil. Go find a local source, check with your local municipality, city, that sort of thing, whether or not they've got those sort of things somewhere available for you. Just look around for some ways to find bulk types of soil if you have to get soil brought in, if it's just a must. You know what I mean? Don't go get the bags one by one if you're trying to fill big old things like that. That's where that's going to get real spendy. It's expensive, and then you're at the mercy of what is the quality of the stuff they have in that. If you have no other option, but for me, for a whole bunch of reasons, I essentially create or obtain local free amendments, and I've been doing it that way for decades. So my issues about quality of soil and cost in that is virtually zero. And my soil is so good. Here's a good bad story I'll tell before we get on to other people. Here's a good bad story. Is my soil was so good that when I had a not as robust and solid garden fence, people would come in and steal my soil because it was too good.
Soil thieves.
So how's that compliment? Is because it was 20 years of me building and doing my soil that people were coming in and taking it and utilizing it. Yeah. Mixed feelings on that. Yeah.
Right on, right on, right on. Well, let's get to it. Let's have a conversation with a new face here, new name. In fact, unless this is a name of someone that we got to match with a screen name or something. But let's go ahead and let's hit that right there, and let's meet our first viewer guest of the day. And it says here we've got Howard Wilson. Is that right, Howard Wilson?
Hey, how are you doing? Can you hear me? Am I coming in clear?
Oh, we
He
lost your
wants audio
we lost your video.
Oh crap! Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we lost your video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it says it's on. I think there's some kind of issue. Is it all right if I proceed without it? Is that all right?
Sure.
Let me see. Let's see if we can fix that real quick, and then we'll bring you on here real quick. 1 second. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and let's bump that back one moment there. Yeah, just make sure we get.
He's back.
Okay.
Visual. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, make sure that's right there. So it's just a little, at least the way it was coming through on my side.
Good. Yay.
Okay. You hear me?
Oh, I can hear you there.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a new viewer of the show, and I just had maybe a few questions about gardening. I'm a new gardener, actually.
Oh, wonderful. Absolutely.
Yeah. So my question really was, I'm a new grower. I'm trying to grow some Skywalker OG, and I was just wondering about, do you guys have any experience about, hydroponic setups, or trying to see how to get the most THC out of my crop, and I'm just wondering if maybe you guys could give us some advice.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry that as a gardening show and a thing like we do like that, YouTube just doesn't let us have conversations about that sort of stuff
subject,
and sort of that subject. And as far as it in itself, I will say though, ultimately, as far as growing plants and hydroponic setups, we have some great guests that we get on the show and stuff that do a lot of great, cool hydroponic stuff with all sorts of really great things and stuff. There's some really awesome folks out there. I just don't have the experience. I've never really tried hydroponics too much myself, other than, having some, like these little plants and little water cups around the house where I'm doing propagations and stuff like that, But yeah, no, I would encourage you to check around at some and find some really awesome hydroponic folks who are out there. We do have a guest, or used to for what we were doing on our Monday Green Room show, the Fresh Princess over there at her channel. She does hydroponics, indoor hydroponics as well too, which is something you might check out.
And on the subject you're interested in, but we can't talk about on this channel because of YouTube's rules, she has the Fresh Princess After Dark, in which she focuses entirely on exactly what you want to know, that plant and that technique.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
we can't.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I guess I have another question kind of about gardening. This is more general. We don't have to, but I was just thinking, I know the sun is really powerful and that's how plants grow. I was just wondering about, if you're growing a bunch of plants indoors, and you have these grow lights, are they ever going to be nearly as good as
the sun?
Because maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't even know if we've really made lights that are going to really, but be as powerful as that sun is and those lights and everything. But there's some really great, powerful lights out there doing some really good stuff, and that allow you to really get a lot out of your plants and everything too. So I know there's some really great light setups. Another thing is, distance from your plants. It also creates intensity as well. It's one of the things I understand when it comes to your lights and plants and things like that as well. So you're kind of trying to do the best you can. A lot of the things I do with some of my indoor setups, I've got lights for just general house plants, which work fine. and I use just regular old shop lights for like a lot of my plant starts and keep them nice and low and close to the plants and all of that to get them started indoors and things work out well. But if you're really trying to bring a plant to its full growth and full potential and all that sort of stuff, you'll definitely want to look into like some of those more powerful light systems out there. And again, some of those hydroponic channels are going to cover a lot of that stuff as well.
I got you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, man. That's all the questions I had, man. Thank you.
Okay.
No,
Just before
absolutely.
you go, we
Yeah.
had someone in our community trying to help you out too, Big West Lawn Care. He's been a member of our community for years now, and he said if you can mix Korean natural farming with hydroponics, you may have that figured out. And Korean natural farming is a very specific type of gardening that some people specialize in. I don't know a lot about it, but this person is advising you to look into that as well. So trying to help you out there.
Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds great. I'll have to research that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. Excellent. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming in and joining the show. It's really great to have you here with us today.
Good luck on that pursuit. If you keep looking, there's communities who spend a lot of time and energy on exactly what you're trying to find. But unfortunately, we're not, that focused on that. Okay?
Yeah. No problem. Thank you, Howard. Excellent. Have a great day. Oh, wait, there we go. All right. Let's see who next up on the show here. I think you were trying to pop them in, or did we switch that wrong? I must have hit the wrong button or something like that.
I didn't touch the pictures, but I did get rid of my quote. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing back here right now.
We're dancing.
Right. Exactly. All right. Let's get our next guest here on the show. Let's jump in here because I see them both together right now. Let's pop in.
Oh. Hello.
Mr. and Mrs. Bowtie.
Hi. I'm just Bowtie.
Just Bowtie.
My dad.
Well, we got Mrs. Bowtie now. You're Mr. Bowtie. Right?
I made it. Yay.
Yeah, she literally just walked in. Right
on. Great to see you both together here. How are things going?
Busy, but good.
Very busy. It's, most people take the weekends off. Our weekends get busier than our already busy weeks. And so, we've been running since, I've been up since 2:30. She's been up since 4:05.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, something like that.
And of course, we did the live stream out at the Destin Plant Sale Show, which, Jay, I got to tell you, I discovered afterwards the plug for my lapel mics had fallen out. It wasn't even plugged in.
Wow.
Lapel mics.
I don't know a lot about technology, but I think that's part of what's needed.
Definitely.
It's always about the sound with Bowtie.
It's got to be. The sound. The sound's the most important thing when it comes down to it. A lot of research on video production and all of that.
Trying to buck the system.
Sound is the most important thing.
But so we went out to, David has been doing work with the garden club here in Destin. And what was it, 2 days ago you went and helped them clean up something?
We dug out 70 pounds of smilax root, big massive roots. And the biggest one, there's a picture on our social medias all over. This smilax root that's this big around, it's just as big as a very large casserole dish. And just massive, bigger than baseball, big nodules, bigger than baseballs. Huge. I didn't know they would grow that big. And both Mark and I both have been fighting smilax, me for customers and Mark in his back property of their new house. And it's been insanity to say the least. And then Thursday we dug this much, 70 pounds. It's 4 buckets full, 5-gallon buckets full of smilax roots. And smilax is it's an edible vine. It's actually some of the most horrid pricker briars you ever will imagine. They will shred your hands up.
Oh my!
But the growing tips, which normally grow at least that long, well, we had growing tips 8 feet long and as big as my pinky in this place where we were cleaning up. But they're edible. They taste like asparagus. And supposedly you can cook up the roots. I'm gonna try it again.
It didn't work the first time.
Yeah, it didn't work the first time. I have a root or two sitting out there that I might be able to dedicate to a pot from 2 hours of boiling.
So so we went out to the plant sale today. He did a live.
We got
plants.
agapanthus and what was this one back here? I forget.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember.
Rebecca's gardening's asking,
with the
sounds
names
like
of them.
Smilax sounds somewhat invasive, like it will
It
take
is.
over.
No, it's not invasive. It is aggressive because it is native to Florida.
Right.
If it's native, it's not invasive. But
it's an aggressive.
Yes, that's what they call it. Yeah.
So a gentle term for invasive.
yeah. Basically something that's going to take over. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people in those terms, you know, you would think mint is invasive, right?
Yeah.
It just takes things over. It'll invade something and it'll just completely take it over type of thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I just want to point out while there's a moment here is that I provided links off in the side here, and the links are to David's general channel, Bowtie Life in the Garden, the specific link to the live stream that he did this morning at the plant show, plant sale, and then also to the Smilex short where he was talking about that. So all three of
you found it.
It's why I make the big bucks.
I know. I know.
That's right. That's right.
That's why you're the boss.
That's right. For sure. Right. Excellent.
So we do have an announcement that we want to make.
Oh boy, announcements.
No.
What?
This is all. It's not really an announcement.
It's a PSA.
Yeah, this is a
public service announcement then.
So all of
not
this
like an
is
announcement, not like there's a wedding or a baby or some sort of thing of that sort of stuff.
God,
this is an announcement like, hey, we need to make you aware of something.
No, this is actually a public service announcement. So we are working with the Destin Garden Club leading up to National Gardening Week. National Gardening Week is June 7th through the 13th. It's an annual event that is dedicated to celebrating the joy of plants, encouraging new members to join local clubs. And that's kind of that's our little PSA.
Well, and we're actually joining our local garden club on Tuesday of next week. Next week. But
because they're really a neat bunch of ladies.
Yeah, but the big thing is this week is very special because it's an opportunity that a lot of people take to what?
Sorry. Well, good job.
Okay.
Okay, back on topic.
Anyway, and like I'm on the National Garden Club's page, and the idea is to help people get an interest in gardening. And one of their pages is ideas to consider, plan an education program and or a workshop at your local library, public garden, or garden center. Sponsor hands-on how do you select flowers, shrubs for your garden. Plan a garden tour. Woo! I could do a garden tour. It's a great time to share your knowledge and growth while sharing ideas. Beautify a manageable blighted area or enhance an existing garden. Plan an activity with a youth group or school students. So we actually had the school students at our church's garden while we were having our yard sale, which we raised a bunch of money for local people.
Benevolence
for local.
Which is why I was late. I'm sorry.
Yep, she was the cashier, being the accountant that she is. But we just want to encourage people, and we're going to start we're actually getting content together that we're going to be putting out. And that's Velda right there. She was my guide. She gave us a phenomenal tour of the gardens out there at the Destin Library that the club has been taking care of for 23 years. Anyway, we just want to encourage people to do the same and find ways to get school kids interested, get other people interested, do something. And those of you who are creators, do some content on it. See if you can put it out specifically that week or sometime in June. I know we have content coming out all the way to the end of June on this topic. And it's a really good opportunity. And those of you who are not content creators, but do something with this, take photos, put them on YouTube, on Facebook,
on your social
You can
media.
put them on our community page if you want to. The Bowtie Life, can you see that Bowtie Life right there? The Bowtie Life community page. And just share what you're doing and encourage others to get someone.
No, it's a great message. I think it's wonderful, you know, when it comes down to it, you know, for one, you know, getting involved locally with local organizations, local gardening clubs, local people in your local area is really important to do, you know, not just, you know, for yourself to get out and to participate with these sort of things, but for your community to have people who, you know, who are interested in these things out there doing that stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, it kind of takes it from both directions and everything too. I will say something on the idea of being a content creator though, because I was reading about this recently and it really kind of struck me as a, you know, a strategy I don't think a lot of people think of. We create stuff and we put it out onto the internet so that a wider audience can see it, right? But really a lot of people who find a lot of success from their YouTube channels or their TikToks or whatever, you know, that sort of things, Instagrams, are people who focus locally. Who do things locally, and you promote your videos and your content through your local community, and you can get a lot of subscribers that way. A lot of people will pay attention to what you're doing because things will be familiar, you're local, you can promote it a lot easier through your local groups, all that sort of stuff. So it's a real easy way for small channels to actually find growth strategies. Is starting locally and then expanding yourself out and everything, because it's so much easier to grow an audience at a local level. And I was just reading this recently. I was like, man, that makes a lot more sense when you really think about it. When you think about it like that. So yeah, that's a good way to build a channel.
Two little things, you know, Gardner Scott, if you watch Gardner Scott, and if you don't watch Gardner Scott, you need to get over there because Jay's going to put a mandatory link to his channel here in just a moment.
Right.
Gardner Scott has been telling me to get involved with your local gardening club for 7 years. In fact, 7 years and maybe 2 months. He's been telling me this. And then the other thing is, I put a picture in there. Do you see a picture of some plants in solo
Let's
cups?
see. Oh, here. Let's see here. Let me add that on real quick.
We made our meager donation. That's
look at
rosemary that up at the top, and then there's 8 chocolate mints on the left side, and Bill over at Wickershire. One of those plants was supposed to be yours, and I'm sorry, they're gone.
That's okay, we have more.
And then some Hasinator orange bell peppers. But yeah, make a donation to your garden club. Find out what you can do. Get the awareness out there. Find an opportunity to share.
Yeah, definitely.
Share it.
And then here's a comment on it from Rob. There is no gardening clubs in my area. Well, guess what? There's an opportunity to start a gardening club in your area.
Yeah, there's always stuff you can do. It doesn't necessarily have to be a formal club, or maybe your club isn't any good. And
right.
I thought I saw a comment in there. It's like, oh, ours is no good. But there's always stuff that can be done, stuff to get involved.
So one of the things that I do, you know, I garden in my front yard. And kids will go walking by, and I have a couple of neighborhood kids that come by, and I always sit there and show them plants in the garden. And one of them actually helped me dig my big, huge artichoke bed, which is 2 foot deep, 4 foot wide, 6 foot long. And my neighbor across the street asked said he hadn't seen Mrs. Bowtie in a while. Is she okay? It looked like a big grave. But I dug this huge basin and lined it with brick and fabric and planted my sunchokes in there because they are aggressive, and we have to contain them as well. So
you know, he just got
the so much you can do.
Little neighbor kid involved, and you know, he's been back to help.
Get a kid involved. Get a friend involved. You know, it's as simple as this. And Rob, I know you can do this. Grow an extra tomato plant for someone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And give it away. Or
Yeah,
grow
yeah.
10 extra tomato plants. I just gave away 24 plants right there in that picture. So to help raise funds. But I started by a friend. In fact, you see him sometimes in my chats. It's Kip Wood.
Yeah.
He gave me my first tomato. And
yeah, it was dead.
It was almost
it was almost dead. It was almost
anyway, he gave me my first tomato on this round of successful gardening, and I've never successfully gardened. But now I'm in year 7, and that was all because Kip gave me a tomato plant. And I suppose someone in this chat room knows someone that was given a cucumber plant that just started everything exploding, right? Right, Enoch?
Right. Yep. That's right. I'm sorry, I was looking at something, but that's right. This all started with a cucumber plant. That's for
there
sure.
you go. Mine was a tomato.
Yep.
So isn't it amazing?
Luckily to me, I always look back at that one moment, having that friend show up with that cucumber plant like that changed my whole life.
Yep.
So
really
one
did.
plant can help another person. So
yep.
that influence, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Exactly.
And as there was some commentary, and I don't want to go into too much negativity. I tend to be more of a pragmatist realist. But my garden club, the first time I had tried when I was much younger and into plants and gardening, they were a bit of the not
gossipy busybodies
positive side. Yeah, it wasn't a positive experience. And I tried a few things that was, I think, a little bit too hippie and outside their comfort zones. So I was saying, hey, everybody, there's like 30 or 40 of them in the room, which for a small village of 1,000 people is pretty amazing. And some of them had been established, been there for decades. And I said, hey, if there's anybody here in the room that can talk to me about organic gardening, I would love to know more about it. And I kid you not, the pronunciation people said is organic. You want to do what? And then another person stepped up and said, oh, I've heard of organic. It doesn't work at all. Don't even start with any of that. You got to go.
Oh my goodness.
And I went, oh. And one of their projects they were doing to try and beautify the small village was to use the verge, basically the curbside area that is technically public land, try to make some of it garden plots and mostly flowering plants. And they didn't really have a budget for it, and they didn't really have staffing, so it was going to be what you volunteered to do fully. And I said, hey, I volunteer to do one, except I'm going to take mine and try and do grow a row for the food bank, if nothing else for promotion for them with little signage that's nicely done, but to encourage people to grow for their community, for the food bank, for neighbors, whatever, to kind of promote that idea. But I'm going to try and make it attractive and vegetables and herbs. And they went, you can't do that. We're not into political stuff.
Really?
Feeding your neighbor is political. And I went, that's kind of interesting. They go, we only deal with florals. And I went, oh, it wasn't in the name or the description, so I didn't know. And I said, is it still possible for me to do that? It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Should have been called a flower club.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
You found your place.
Woo.
Eventually.
I'm happy to be amongst our vegetable friends.
For sure. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, everybody. Again, too, it's community show. We're hanging out with all of you, the viewers today. And I'm dropping our link in one more time. Hopefully we can get another new face. I saw someone popped in for just a second or two and then popped right back out. So
I saw Robin in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Robin's here.
So I want to get a chance for all of you. I know we see some faces in here. in the chat right now, that link right there, so you can come and join with us for a minute here and come and say hi. Let us know what you got growing on, what's growing on in your garden, because we love to see all of you viewers here on our community show. And yeah, great to have you guys here with us today. I mean, what a great fun PSA, important message too. I'm glad, always something fun, always something cool that you guys are bringing to the table here on the Let's Get Growing show. But again, you guys really brought something really cool and important today, and a really great piece to the discussion. I think that
everybody, Kid Croc, that's Croc Gardner's son. He's the official Sweet Pea taster.
Oh,
got a new sticker.
Look at you strategically placing stickers into your screen.
If Kid Crocs is watching, looky there, buddy. You're on my computer. He had a picture of me on his phone for the longest time on his home screen.
Excellent. Well, thank you too for taking the time to be here with us today. It's always great to see you. And again, one more thanks for all of the work that you all did in putting together cool, fun live streams for us at the Spring Planting Festival over at Baker Creek.
Well, you were
really fun, really awesome, and all of that. I bet it was a lot of work. I've done those events. I've done and tried live streaming and all of that, so I can imagine it was quite a bit of work to try to get it done. But really awesome of you guys to do that.
Well, we're looking forward to you doing it in September at the Heritage Festival.
I know. I'm working. I'm talking with them. We're working on something. So hopefully we can make that happen.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe I can bring
to be back at the Heirloom Exposition again, to have not missed one since years ago. 10 plus years ago, I guess. It's going to be the first one back and at the farm. Maybe the first time at the farm. I mean, how could you miss that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. You come, bring your camera. I'll bring the whole studio, the tents and everything. And we'll set our tents up, our studios up opposite each other, and we'll just go crazy.
We'll do it. Yeah, absolutely. It'd be so much fun. That's for sure. Excellent. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. Really awesome to have you here.
Good to see y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining. Bye.
All right. Excellent.
Yes.
Great conversation there with Bowtie. Here we go. I'm going to throw it out here again. These are our community. This is really your opportunity to come hang out with us. We hope you want to come hang out with us. So take advantage of that link that we put in the description there. I can put one more out too, because I know people pop in and out and they don't get to see it if it's not in there kind of regularly. So I do kind of want to make sure I'm dropping that in a little bit more often for you guys. But someone take advantage of that. Take that link there, jump into the backstage there, come join the conversation with us here on the Let's Get Growing show. Okay, we got another one in here, but I want to get to our next guest here real quick because she's been waiting in the backstage since the very beginning and just being nice and patient, hanging out, watching the show from the backstage. So let's get in to the show with us, our good friend, Robin from Chicagoland. It's Robin Gardens. How are you doing? Great to have you here with us today. Thanks for jumping in and hanging out.
Oh, my pleasure. Hey, look what came today in the mail.
Oh, show and tell time. Oh, she got her prize.
I got my prize from Ivy Organic.
All right, perfect. Oh, I wonder if Wickershire's gotten his yet too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
This is great. It has the 333 for the NPK, but then it's got 5% calcium, 1% magnesium, 1% sulfur, and then 0.3 of iron. So, I don't have to go to a bunch of bags in my bag of tricks when I want to just do something quick. I'm excited. And then, of course, I got teaser catalog with it, so more things to buy.
Yeah, that's right. Again, too, everybody, definitely make sure you go over to ivyorganics.com, get some of that fertilizer that that Robin's got there for her prize. She won hers free, but you can get 10% off yours if you go get some at ivorganics.com. Use our promo code GROW10. Yeah, but yeah, that's really great. I love that when he shows up to the shows like that and brings those giveaways and everything as well too. So that was really
It
fun.
was very kind. Very, very kind.
And it's possibly even more content for your channel, as you could even set up some kind of little experiment of try some of that in a certain area and maybe without and you know, giving a realistic picture of how it is or is not working for you. And if it is working for you, there's another tool for your garden.
And I know Charles would definitely be happy to set you up, Robin, with your own promo code as well too.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Do a little push there for our friends over at Ivy Organics, though. But great sponsors.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I filmed a little bit because we happened to be filming out in the garden doing potatoes. And so Al's like, the mail's here, and he
We
went
saw
and got
Al.
it.
Al's
So
making
like,
Al's
oh,
making
okay.
a little special appearance in the background there.
Is he? He's making
Yeah.
his lunch.
Yep. Say hi
There
to
we
Al
go.
for all of us.
Hey, Al.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah.
My favorite garden sidekick.
That's
Yes,
right.
this week we
He's
put
so
in
awesome.
potatoes. I put in our favorite Kennebec. I put in Adirondack Blue. I put in Yukon Gold, which was not one of my choices. It was a substitute. I'm like, really? If you're going to send me a substitute, why the most common thing on the face of the planet? But anyways, I'm growing Yukon Gold. I saved some Pinto Gold from last year, and those are going. They're up already because they were already sprouted, well chitted, so I had to pot them up early inside. And then I'm in the single seed potato challenge in England at Digwell Green Fingers channel. You're trying to grow the most yield you can from one potato or the heaviest. So mine did not shit out really well. So I'm going to go for the heaviest.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Excellent. Right on.
But yeah, I mean, I've been sowing like crazy. I emailed you some pics where you.
I did. I just don't know where I'm going to put them in.
Oh, okay.
You
can't get them up.
I would have to. Well, let's see what I can do here. I'm going to try this real quick.
Well, yeah, I've actually got all the cool weather stuff in except my kohlrabi, and today's going to be 85 at the peak. So I don't know what it's going to do. We're in the mid 80s again tomorrow. And I mean, this happens every year where it just.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. I think I got.
Skip a spring.
How's that? What do we got growing on there in the window? So look at all of that.
I have a south-facing front window there, and those are all my half of my tomatoes and peppers. But they're getting desperate. We just haven't had the nighttime temperatures. It just now has. I was hoping not
starting to turn that corner.
Yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to make a decision about the hardening off and taking a chance. I have enough extras that I can play with that.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm pretty lucky to have that south facing window. This is a little etage that I've got more of my seedlings on that are inside. And then I've got outside, I've got 2 zipper greenhouses. I was
going to say, you kind of got 2 little features here in this picture, one in the background and the outside there too. Oh, even way back in the background, we can see your containers and beds.
Yeah.
And all that. Look at that. There we go. Perfect.
Cool. And so I sent a pic of those 2 greenhouses. So I set these up temporarily on the patio every April 1st, and it stays up until, now or the end of the month. and then we'll take them down and the patio becomes a patio again. But it works out really, really well. You just have to be smart. They call them flimsies or blow away for a reason. So you have to put those patio blocks to do that. Do you have the pic of my
Trying to get that one here. Let's see. Let's put that there.
So I went ahead and poked in some beans and some squash just for the heck of it. All right, so you can see from this angle my stone beds off towards the middle, and then the birdie beds are a little obscured by the magnolia tree, but you can see them back there. And I've set out my pots to figure out what ones I'm gonna plant in this year. My new friend in Door County, Wisconsin, sent me home with a baloney load of sunchokes. So I'm going to try those for the first time. And then some garlic. So I'm trying some spring planted garlic this year, just for, the tender shoots rather than the full thing. But you can see I've got a variety of little crops going on already in all of those beds. And I put in my cages for the tomatoes, even though the tomatoes aren't planted out yet, just so that I would leave space for them.
Little markers. This is for you in the future. Yeah.
This space is reserved.
This space is reserved. Exactly.
Exactly. I got to get all of my grow towers, the 2 DIY ones, the dollar store ones, and my green stock going. I made a trip to the garden center today we did wood chips yesterday, and it just broke these 2 old people in half. We did 3 cars.
Work, huh? Work.
Yeah, it's
Workload.
a lot of work. So we needed to let our bodies recover. But we went to the garden center and plonked down a bunch of cash. And honestly, that was my intent. I wasn't going to grow as much this year as I have in past years because of the fractured shoulders. Well,
yeah, that's
I
right.
ended
You
up
are
growing just as much as I did, but I bought some filler things.
Well, I remember you're talking about the physiotherapy and how you're going to adapt your gardening and doing a lot less and taking it easy because of the original injury and the healing and all that has to go on. And then I'm hearing about some of the stuff that you've been doing. Well, I'll call it every couple of weeks, every 3 weeks-ish, like clearing out your entire basement of all of its possessions and building new garden beds and moving 3 carloads of mulch and stuff. And I'm thinking, yeah, she's for sure taking it easy.
Well, if it's down low, I've got my strength pretty good. I can carry a lot of poundage. If you're trying to bring it up or anything over my head, I don't have that. I'm never going to have that again. It's gone. Trying to get, like past this, that's not happening yet. And behind the back,
Okay, right. With tying an apron.
Impossible, huh?
Yeah, it's not there yet.
I'm mentioning tying an apron because I will try and see if I can find the link quickly here. But one of her recent videos on her channel, which I did provide the link to the general channel already, was essentially how to adapt an existing quality apron and how to make it so it can be a garden harvesting apron. And she took you step by step through that and did beautifully through the whole video until she had to do the tying behind her back, which got challenging. Which she did it for us, is what she did.
Yes. It does. And you know what? That would have sat in a drawer. My brother-in-law gave it to me at Christmas because I have so many, kitchen aprons to just quickly and easily convert it into a harvest apron is going to be great, especially for beans, because you're up there, on the ladder and you're getting the beans. If you could just put them right here,
have that pouch.
Oh yeah, it's going to be fab. And the video before that actually was very popular. It's got, I think, 1,600 views or something. It's called No More Bending, and you can actually see the bones of my garden. You can see the stone beds, you can see the birdies beds, and how basically my thought process was so that we could age with this garden and continue to do it gracefully. Because you lose mobility, you lose stuff, crap happens, and you break your you break your shoulder. So it's like, and Big Will is in the chat. He did a great one about the enabled garden, and the Coast to Coasters that both Will and Dave are in. They did a wonderful one talking about that as well. So it's a pretty hot topic. But if you want to see the bones of my garden, the No More Bending one is kind of interesting because there's not many plants in there yet, so you can see what's happening.
Right on. Excellent. Lots of great stuff. Wonderful pictures, man. Your garden looks so great right now. So really excited for you to get those tomatoes out into the outdoors, into your garden spaces. That's going to be awesome.
You know what I did? It was the onions. Oh my gosh. I've got Walla Walla. I've got Kelsey. I've got Ilsa Craig. I've got Red of Florence.
Wow.
I've got Zabroon shallots. I was trying to go English there on us.
Good work. Good work.
A lot of British gardeners, aren't you? Are you watching?
If you would have went with it, I would have went right with you.
I do. I've got another kind of. I've got Spanish yellow in the greenhouses, and American flag leeks in the greenhouse. I just went allium crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll use them. Don't get me wrong. We'll use them.
Yeah. I can't wait for the show and tells later on too.
Yeah.
Getting to check out all these different wonderful onion varieties and all of that. That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be neat.
Yeah.
So
right on.
The only thing that I'm having a problem with is garlic. Garlic just I put 69 cloves in, and I have 19.
Really?
What's there is healthy and doing okay, but it's not like my typical year. Not like my typical year.
Wonder when wrong there.
It's lucky you're not in a competition or anything.
Well, I know that was the whole thing, because I'm like, I've been throwing it out there for the garlic challenge that, because this is one I can participate in. I'm good at garlic typically. What it is I think, the birdie's bed is 29 inches tall. This is 6 foot by maybe 2.5, 3 feet. Anyways, all I can think of is it acted like a great big pot, because what didn't do well was the garlics around the edges, all the way around, and what survived was in the middle. I think it just acted like a pot in the winter and just got too freeze-thawy compared to in ground.
Yep.
So live and learn.
Live and learn. As we do. That's what fun of gardening is. There's always next season now, and you can improve and figure out and work on those sort of things that that happen with that then. Well, right on, Robin. Thank you so much for jumping on here to hang out with us. We got a couple more we're going to get to here before we finish up our show today, but it's always great to see you here on the show with us, and hopefully you hang out here, and we'll chat with you in just a little bit as well too.
Okay. Take care, guys. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Robin. Bye. Good to see you today. All right. We're moving right along here. We had one new face earlier in the show, and I'm just waiting to see here. Wait for them to pop up here, and then we'll get them on here. But we got another new face that we can bring onto the show as well too here. If I see the video. Again, we're looking for video here. I'm not sure. And then we'll get moving on with that. But yeah, Robin's got a lot of awesome, really cool things growing on over there. Everybody should go and check out. And I think, again, we still got Robin down below in our description too for contributor links and everything too. So you can find her channel down in the description for everybody as well too. So let's see here if I don't see our video up for the next one here.
Let's show Joe. Yeah.
Then we'll jump on with Joe here real quick here, and then we'll finish up with her. But yeah, let's go ahead and drop in. We've got Joe from Muddy Puddles Farm with us.
Hi.
All the way across the pond in the UK where it's raining. Is it still raining over there? Are you getting poured on still?
Yeah, it's still raining. Actually, I clicked the link and then I ran in because I've been out on the farm today and got the hairbrush because it's windy and wet. And I was like, oh no, look at that.
Right.
You see me at my scruffiest.
The scruffiest, huh? That's your scruff. Well, it's not too bad. You're looking good. How's everything growing over there? Everything going good besides all the rain?
Yeah, well, I've gone big time to direct sowing just because time and space. So I have big plans this winter to create some cold frames and some undercover space to bring things on, and it was just too wet to get out and do anything. So I'm working on window ledges and south-facing windows and doing my best. So loads of things just gone in to be direct sowed now, and they're all popping up and doing really well. Like my green onions and spinach and beets, and I'm growing mangel wurzels this year.
Lots of good green stuff growing there, huh?
Yeah. The only thing that's really failed me is my parsnips, but I think that's the seed, so I'm starting again with some new seed.
All right, awesome.
It's been good.
So I just want to mention that parsnips can be especially, we'll call them recalcitrant, a little ornery. They get a little difficult to grow for many people, and the seed has to be that year's for sure, but they're just a really reluctant seed. So don't feel like it's the gardener. It can be the seed in a few different ways.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown them all my life and never had a problem before. So it's the first year ever. So I think it's a seed. But, even last year, I had really old seed, and I was just like, well, I'm going to throw it in the ground and see, because I arrived really late at my farm. And then I just thought, it'll at least break down and be biological material, won't it? But they grew, which surprised me greatly. Last year I didn't expect them. This year I've got all brand new seed, new varieties. I was very excited about it, and they haven't worked. So it's just that's the life of a gardener, is that you have these strange things happen, and it's like a riddle to solve, isn't it?
Yes.
It is a bit like playing detective. Yes.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Again, another fun part of the whole experience, right? You know, kind of experimenting along with different things like that. All right, let's see here. I'm sorry, I'm kind of trying to pay attention to something else.
No, I know.
The
chat
is okay.
Distracting, isn't it? It's fine. Trying
to figure out something.
The other thing I was doing today, it was the last day of lectures for my permaculture design course. So that was really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's going on over there with that?
So I've decided that the small holding, the way I've been running it, has been permaculture themed, basically, without even realizing it, really. And so I've done my permaculture design course, and it's about growing everything in a really holistic way that's good for the earth and good for everything. It goes a little bit beyond organic, so we try to have closed loop systems, so waste becomes a bit like Jay was talking about earlier. Waste becomes a product that you can use. So what people bag up and bin,
that real regenerative type of thing, you know, we're trying to take our own local inputs and turn them into our garden spaces or our growing spaces or all of it. But what are maybe some of the things that you've learned or you're getting from all of that you feel that you can directly apply to what you're doing there at your Muddy Puddles farm?
Yeah, I think the integrated systems, I already have tried to integrate my animals fully into the system. So we use my pigs to rotivate instead of a machine. I will use my chicken manure and also use the animals for pest control and things. But I drew up something called a design web. So you have a circle, and around the edge of the circle, you write all the different elements, like your compost, your kitchen, your flower beds, your hedgerows, and then you draw lines to link up all the things that connect. And it really astounded me how many things connect to my hedgerow, because I use them for foraging, I use them for fodder for the animals, I use them to take cuttings to make new hedgerows, I use them for compost materials, I use them for mulch materials. It's just, there's so much use just from one element within the farm. Found that very interesting.
No, it is. I mean, all of those kind of concepts. I mean, I find it interesting implying and doing as much of it as possible, like in a small urban garden space that I have here, you know, but I like seeing how people are really able to use those larger concepts, you know, within bigger spaces like what you have there too, which is really something the dream one day, you know, you got a big old farm or garden or place that you can just do all this sort of cool stuff with and apply some of these really cool permaculture principles. And like you said, you got all the animals to incorporate with all of everything too, to take it to that next level and everything. So I just think that's just really cool. It's going to be really exciting to be able to take all of those sort of things and really upgrade the management of your garden spaces and overall farm, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing with permaculture is the smaller space you have, almost the better it works, because it's talking about stacking functions. And so each element within your garden serves multiple purposes. So that's, you know, the hedgerow is the perfect example. It serves multiple purposes, but you've got your canopy trees that give shade to the things underneath, but then you also get a harvest from them. You also get mulch materials from them, compost materials from them. So, you know, we've got people on the permaculture course that are designing balcony gardens and designing. Some people are even designing their clothing wardrobe in a permaculture way, and part of the next part of the course, if you go on to the next part, is you have to do 2 designs that aren't land-based, so they're community projects, which I thought was really interesting too.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Joe.
No, that's right.
We're like busy working backstage trying to help someone figure something out as well too.
The community projects is really interesting. So that there are people. So part of the permaculture, one of the principles is people care. So it's earth care, people care, and fair share. And so it's now expanded a lot more beyond just a land-based project. Now people are devising whole community projects based on the fair share and the people care, and expanding it even further. And there was one lady who is living on a narrowboat, and so she's designing her narrowboat to reduce waste and to be ecological, but she also wants to have some growing space. And so her project encompasses things like community gardens. So that's one of her, you know, she doesn't own the garden, it's not her garden, but she goes along to the community garden, and that's become part of her project as well. It was really interesting. people from all sorts of walks of life are checking out and getting on board with the permaculture movement. And it's really it's more interesting than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like seeing and it seems like we're on this next kind of upward surge of it since Mollison created these concepts, decades ago, even, you know what I mean? And to see people kind of each generation or more, the type, this resurgence of the permaculture concepts and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's kind of where we're at. Like COVID was another little one, and it kind of and now we're up on this other one where folks are jumping on and figuring it out again too. You look at global food costs and all this sort of things like that. I think people are starting to think again about where and how things are, they're getting these sort of things, so if they can figure a way to grow and garden for themselves and provide some of their own food and all of that. And then along with all of that comes, permaculture and these sort of concepts that, people want to really do, because we are also a lot more aware of, what our effect on the earth is and the land and all that sort of stuff. So being able to be good stewards of it and care for it properly only helps us improve the ability for us to provide more really good, well-grown food for ourselves, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Maura Gamble was on as one of our guest speakers a couple of weeks ago, and she was talking about she does a lot of work with refugee camps, so where people have been displaced through war, and then they're in a new country, in a new place, they're not in a terribly good place, and they're looking for new careers, and quite often acquiring good, healthy, fresh food is really tricky. And so they're funding education centres and training so that people can become permaculture tutors and teachers, and then work within the refugee camps, teaching other people the permaculture principles, and set aside land for them in conjunction with those countries that run those refugee camps to allow them to grow food.
Yep. Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to talk to somebody in Uganda, I think she was in. She'd been moved from
places in the world where those types of principles are really important too, for them to be able to reclaim their land and do certain things as well too. I love that.
And the young lady had been running education courses since she was 18, so yeah.
Great.
All right. Well, right on, Joe. Thanks again for jumping on and hanging out with us here today and joining us on our community show, because it's always great to catch up with you and see what you got growing on over there. So again, thanks for jumping on with us, and we'll chat with you in a few minutes if you hang on there.
Okay.
Before we totally close out, I just want to remind people that Joe does do live streams. And although she's on a break because she's very busy with her permaculture course, she is going to be back May 22nd. So if you're not already subscribed, I've provided a link to her channel. I encourage you to sign up, hit notifications, but also watch for her newest live stream, which will be back on May 22nd.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
All right. Yes, absolutely. Go check it out. Thanks, Joe. We'll see you in a few.
Thank you. Bye.
You bet. All right. Moving right along here. A little work, but I think we've got it figured out. Another new face here, a face to someone we see popping in regularly throughout all of our different shows from week to week. Let's drop into the show here. Let's see if this is all working right, though, too, for sure, right?
Yes.
Here we go. Oh, there we go. Lori, can you hear me?
I'm hearing like echo.
You can hear an echo?
Yeah.
That might be, do you have YouTube on somewhere?
Oh, yeah, I do. Hang on.
Okay. So you need to shut the volume all the way down or off.
Yeah.
Yep. Technology fighting us.
It's fighting us for sure. Right on. Well, excellent. We got you on with us here today. Kelpie Capers Farm. It's Lori. She's, always talking about tomatoes. You grow so many just awesome, amazing, cool varieties of tomatoes. The Tomato Addicts group, right?
Heirloom Tomato Addicts Anonymous.
Anonymous. I love it, that even too. So tell us a little bit more about how you got involved with doing all of these cool heirloom tomatoes.
Well, back in 2013, I was in a seed trade group on Facebook, and I was having a conversation with Jim Wyant. Some of you might know him as Tomato Jim Wyant. And as conversations do, it tended to evolve into other things besides trading seeds. And we got called to task, and I thought, well, screw that. So I started my own group.
Oh yes, there you go.
And
It's always the best
from day one.
best way to deal with an issue with something, right? Just start your own.
I don't like your rules, I'll make my own. So that is how I got started on Facebook with tomatoes. I've been growing tomatoes for over 40 years now.
Yeah. About how many varieties of tomatoes do you think you've got in your heirloom seed bank?
Oh, well, I'm in the middle of my tomato sale right now, so I just dropped about $350 on more seeds.
Yeah. Oh, so you got more coming. But I'm sure you can't grow all the varieties of the.
No, I can't grow them all at once. No, I'm gonna say somewhere around 2,700.
2,700 altogether.
Yeah.
Wow. And then about how many do you grow? I mean, I'm sure you grow maybe more for like your tomato sale. So you got your tomato plant sale, that.
This
but
is
then how
funny.
many more do you grow for your own garden?
Sell.
So, okay, so you just start them out, you sell them, and then whatever's left over, you put into the ground.
Yep.
Well, that's a kind of a cool strategy. I like that.
So last year, I think I grew 32.
So you ended up with 32 different varieties for yourself?
I actually did pull some out that I will grow. I got in, it was at the first of the year, Alexei Kulik, he's a tomato breeder over in Ukraine. And he messaged me and he said, I'm going to be sending you a surprise. And it was around New Year's. So I didn't think anything of it. And as time went on, I completely forgot about it. And in early March, I get a package in the mail, and he had sent me 2-3 dozen seeds, varieties that he had bred. So I'm sitting here with all these rare Ukrainian ones. And last year I did the my Ukraine series. There was a series of 15 tomatoes there. This year he started a new line called Treasures of the Family. And so I'm growing 3 of those, and those are ones I started. I did not even put those out there. I'm not going to sell those to people who don't know exactly what they have. I'm keeping those for myself this year, and then I'll feature those next year. But this year, what I'm really concentrating on building up are beans.
Oh, excellent.
Everybody thinks I love growing tomatoes. That's not my favorite thing to grow. My favorite thing to grow in the garden are beans.
Oh, wow. Well, see, even me, I think of that. And already everybody's jumping in on some tomato stuff here in the chat as well. But beans are cool as well, too. I'm trying to actually focus a little bit more on some different beans this year myself. Let's see here, though. Hippie Chick Homestead, though, says, have you planted them out already? It's getting cold at night in the Pacific Northwest. So you're still not ready yet to get them out?
No, I do not plant out until June 1st.
Okay, yeah. Make sure you're ready for sure. Robin Garden says, do you have a top 3 tomatoes for flavor?
I have mine, but this question is hard to answer because taste is subjective. So what I like, you may not like. My top 3: Bug Tussle Buttermilk Wonder. You probably have never heard of that one. Number 2, Red Dumpling Winter Pink. You probably never heard of that one either. And number 3, I like Seco Coal Camp.
Oh,
that's probably another one that nobody's ever heard of.
Well, I guess folks are going to have to get a hold of you. You got seeds?
No, I don't sell seeds.
Oh, well, see, you got to trade them.
It's in the works. It's in the works. I'm just not ready for that yet. I sell plants. We opened our greenhouse Sunday on the 10th. And I think we had 13 customers. And I did like over $1,100 in sales on the first day alone.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
pretty
awesome. See, again, too, what a great, like, cool little small kind of home spun business
And
type
here
of
I
thing.
am. I
You know,
mean,
looks great.
we're up on 50 acres. I'm really rural, and I've got people coming from north of Seattle and south of Portland to come up here to get tomatoes. It's just crazy to me.
Wow. Yeah, you see, you're the person to search out for all of that. Well, you know, again, too, I wish we could have gotten things. When we had a little bit of that's what we were working on when we had Joe on, some technical difficulties and everything, but we're running in. But hopefully this next time around on our next community show, we can talk you to coming back around and sharing with us a little bit more about the beans you're growing, so we can learn just a little bit more about beans and all that sort of stuff.
I still have to figure that out. I've got.
Well, we'll give you time for
I
our
was gonna
next
say
community show.
I have
You can
well
come back
over
around and chat with
1,000,
us
probably
about
close
that.
to 1,500 varieties of beans too, and I've got to narrow that.
Oh my gosh, see,
My
that'll make a
goodness.
great fun
Wow.
conversation.
Well, I've got a personal seed bank, Jay, of about 15,000 varieties of just
Wow.
different things.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, right on.
I have a huge upright
Tons
freezer
and
that
tons,
is
like, wow.
dedicated to this stuff.
That is so amazing and great. And I would love, again, too, we're gonna have to have you back on next community show. We'll have to get you on a little bit earlier so we could chat about all of that really cool stuff, because I know you got a lot of cool variety, a lot of varieties, a lot of cool stuff. I've known you for years. We've been friends on Facebook and all that. In fact, I think you wrote a little article on your blog about us and all of that stuff years ago. So again, I'd love to chat with you some more about all of this sort of stuff, but we are running towards the end of the show. And as Robin Gardens is reminding me, oh wait, I got the wrong one here. Wait, where was it? She was asking me about the trivia question. I was like, wait, we gotta do the trivia break here real quick too as well. So again, if you want to, again, I will remind you, and I will let you know, Lori, you do have the link and everything. You can stick and hang out in backstage if you like. All of our community show guests are welcome to hang out after the show for an after show discussion and all of that. But we are going to wind things down really quickly here, because again, I almost forgot about that second break myself too as well. So we're going to run that real quick. I'll be right back. We'll finish things up. I'm not going to make my time this time. I know it already, but we're going to try the best we can to finish this thing up real quick. Thanks, Lori, for coming and hanging out with us, getting through all the technical difficulties.
Now we know the
and all that.
technical things.
I got to go back out and sell this afternoon. I got people coming up.
Well, now that we've got the technical things, next time we'll give you the time I feel.
When you hear what it was, you're just gonna shake your head.
I know there's gonna be a lot of good stuff to talk with you about.
It'll be like a was it plugged in, because that's my usual problem.
No, I needed to take an alcohol wipe and clean my camera lens.
Oh, just simple, right? It's always something simple, right?
Yeah.
Always something simple that gets us.
So we'll be a few minutes late today, but thank you so much for being our guest and persisting through figuring out what that problem was.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. Awesome. All right, Jay. Let's jump right into this real quick here. Let's do our last break. Get the answer to our trivia question. We'll come right back. I'll let you know about what's coming up and all of that sort of stuff. Like I said, we're blowing past our out mark this week. I know it. It just happens. I try.
A little bit.
It's to be expected with a community show and a little of this and that happening as well too. But we'll be right back. Just another minute or two. Hey gardeners, thanks for tuning in to our show today. We'll be right back at it here in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second here to highlight our regular videos and features here on the Urban Gardener channel. Our weekly garden journals, and our incredible featured visits.
I'm back with the answer to this week's trivia question. Do you know what 3 by 3 by 3 means when you want to support pollinators in your garden? The correct answer is D, providing blooms for pollinators over the whole growing season. To best support pollinators in your garden, aim to have native flowers blooming in each of the 3 growing seasons, spring, summer, and fall. And for each of those seasons, plant at least 3 different species that will be in bloom, and have at least 3 different plants for each of those species. Native plants are particularly important because they provide just the right mix of nutrients for our native pollinators, which are in much need of our help right now. So this all works out to be about 27 plants or so. Now, if this seems a bit overwhelming for you, do not fret, you can easily just plant 1 plant. But when you start seeing pollinators come to your garden and use your plants, I have a feeling that you'll be hooked just as I was, and suddenly that 3 by 3 by 3 becomes much more attainable. And that's your garden trivia for today. Thanks so much for playing. Enjoy the rest of the show and be sure to pop by and say hi at the Suburban Gardenista on YouTube and Instagram. And there'll be a link for you down in the description below. Thanks again and happy gardening.
All right. Here we are back at it. Jay, awesome. Got the answer to Brandy's trivia question there. Did you get it right? Did you get it right, folks?
No.
I'm going to tell you, I didn't get it right. She tricked me with that. There was a really good answer in there that I was certain it was, and then it ended up being the other one. But again, awesome. Thank you so much, Brandy, for doing our garden trivia. Glad we remembered to get the answer in here towards the end of the show. Definitely go, like she said, check out the Suburban Gardenista. Link down below in the description, and go find out more about helping pollinators throughout the gardening season.
Well, as we close out, I just want to say a quick thing about the quality of the questions that Brandy has been creating for us. Yeah. Most gardening questions I find after having gardened for decades are a little bit simplistic, perhaps almost even patronizing, but she is giving us questions that is the full realm, from ones that are very easy to kind of challenging to what? I'm going to have to research to figure that one out. And I love that she's giving us that breadth of gardening knowledge in such a tiny little bit of time and space.
Really, again, too, just again, Sarah did such a great job with that before. She really just took that over and is really rolling with it so well. I tell her every single time, I says, man, it's just really, you're just doing such an awesome job, bringing such a great feature and segment to our show. And again, go check out Brandy over at the Suburban Gardenista. Go and tell her how awesome you think those garden trivia is too, and go show her some support over at her channel as well too. So awesome. Again, another great community show here. We got to see some new faces again. Yes. And which is awesome. It always makes for a great, fun, awesome community show to see some new faces on with us as well.
And familiar faces, and we are so grateful for all of you. This show literally would not exist without this community, and we so appreciate you coming here and spending time with us. I'm going to kind of leave it at that because I know we're running a little bit late. I tend to be a chatty person, but I am going to remind
you. We blew past it. I don't mind a few minutes now, but
I'm going to disappear shortly, but Enoch's going to talk about what's going to be happening tomorrow, as we have another show coming up tomorrow. And I'm going to just fade into the background, but I'm just reminding any people who were our guests that same link that you had before can have you join us just for a casual hangout after the show backstage.
Yes.
But we deeply appreciate all of you. I do apologize that because when I'm co-hosting, I'm not quite as good at the JBot duties in the chat area as I normally am.
I think you did a great job.
Not as many links and stuff like that as I normally would. But we do so appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow.
Awesome, Jay. Thanks for being here with us and co-hosting our community show today. It's always great to see you here on the show. Right on, right on. Here we go. Here we go. Let's finish this up. Let's get this going. Like I said, we blew past our time marker for the end of the show, but we also had a little bit of a technical difficulties myself getting everything started. So we did start just a couple of minutes late as well, too. So I guess, you take a little, you give a little, that sort of thing, and it'll all work out in the end. We had a great community show today. Thank you all so much for being here. All of you who brave enough to jump on and join with us here on the show, and then all of you who hanging out with us and in the chat as well too, because it's always great to have all of you here with us, because that's what this show is all about, is you all of you amazing, awesome gardeners out there who are just make a wonderful, welcoming, awesome garden community. And that's what the show is all about. What it's for is for the gardening community out there. The show is for you. And that's why we love doing these community shows, so that we can get together and hang out and put faces to names and get a chance to really get to know our community. And I really appreciate you all taking your time to hang out and be with us here each and every weekend. So again, if you can, before we finish up here, let's go ahead and click that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, share with your garden friends, let them know, let everyone, if I can talk here, let them all know about the Let's Get Growing show here each and every Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. So definitely come and join with us. Like Jay was saying, we'll be right back at it again tomorrow. We've got a third Sunday of the month. Third Sunday of the month means that it is our monthly gardening book club. So we don't have a featured author or a featured book this month for our monthly gardening book club. So our good friend, Mr. NBC, Mark Boucher Colbert, our co-host for the monthly gardening book club, is going to join with me tomorrow. And we're just going to have a fun discussion on the books in our garden bookshelf that we use the most in our gardens. So Mark and I are going to bring a couple of books each that we use the most in our gardens and talk about that, talk about the importance of gardens and books and all of that sort of stuff as well too. So we hope that you come and join with us for a really fun discussion about gardening and books and all of that as well too tomorrow on our monthly gardening book club. And then this next week we've got I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be up to, but we're going to figure some things out. We'll get we'll get some things going. Like I said, we're getting our schedule worked together. We've got some great guests coming up. I'm going to be making some great announcements as we get moving forward here on the show and all of that here in the next coming weeks about some really awesome guests that are lining up for shows coming up. But we'll see what we got coming up. Something might pop up, something might happen, but we will definitely be here next weekend as well for some fun gardening conversations right here on the Let's Get Growing show. And again, definitely here tomorrow for our monthly gardening book club discussion with our good friend, Mr. NBC. So come and join with us then. I'll see you then.
The ugliest plant in the world, but I love it.
What's going on, Georgie? What's happening? Yeah? What are you doing? Yeah? Oh.